All right, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Dev with Excel. Okay, so previously we talked about step 4, which is exercise 1.4. So we looked at how we could actually implement the code in such a way that we will not be passing different objects as separate properties, right? Okay, so today we are going to be talking about exercise 1.5, which is the step 5 of the course information. All right, so let's see what we have here. It says, let's take the changes one step further. Change the course and its parts into a single JavaScript object. All right, fix everything that breaks. Okay, so let's see how we can implement this. Now, we are going to work with the mind of trying to fix bugs, right? Because it's stated here that fix everything that breaks. So they are expecting us to break our code in some way and then get it fixed. Okay, so here we are going to copy from here up to this part. We can see that previously course here was a string that contained half stack application development. Now course here is the entire object, right, that contains name and path. So let's see how we can fix this, right? Let's go to our code implementation. All right, so previously we worked on step 4, right? So we are currently going to work on step 5. So I'll simply just copy the parts here, and then what I'll do is I'll close this and then cd into step 5, then npm run dev, right? Okay, so having done that, I would still need to go back to copy this because I just copied something else. So let me go back to this and let me copy this object, the course object. All right. Okay, so we are going to be removing these parts and replacing it with the course object, and also removing this course. Now, okay, so let's delete this. Let's close that. Let's minimize this and then let's maximize this part. So now what do we need to do? We can see that a lot of things are already breaking already. If you look at this very well, let me save this and you see that our code here shouldn't run properly. Oh, since our code is still running. Okay, I think we are still working on step 4 here. Okay, this was step 4. Sorry. Let me just replace this one the way it was. Okay, I don't want to break anything on this part. Okay, all right. So, pardon me. Let me run this step 4 again to be very sure I didn't break anything. Right. Okay, npm run dev to be very sure I didn't break anything in step 4. Oh, something broke, I think. I knew something might have gone wrong. Okay, nothing broke. So it was trying to load while I was also trying to load on the browser. Okay, so step 4 is okay. So let's go back to step 5 because that's where we are now. Okay, so let me close this. This file belongs to step 4, right? Let me see the file for step 3. Hope I've not been doing some other things. Okay, so step 5, here you go. All right, so this is a code for step 4 that we had previously, right? So we are going to be editing this code into the instruction given to us in step 5. Okay, so I think I need to copy this again. Yes, and I need to remove this course. Okay, all right. So let me close this part. Let me minimize this and maximize this. All right, so we are back again. Let's run this and see if our code is not going to break. It should break, yes. So what we need to do here is, here course now is no longer a string but an object, right? So let's begin with that. So we are going to header now. We need to refactor this header. So what we need to do is, since we want to return this name here, we can just come up here and say prop.course dot name, right? Because name is a key and we have it in the object course. So this should work out fine. Okay, so let me just comment both total and contents to see if our code is going to run fine. So having done that, I'm also going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to save this. Okay, yeah, so course works fine, right? So we have half stack application development. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to work on the content. So let's uncomment this, right? And also we uncomment this. Now, how do we work on the content? Excuse me. Okay, how do we work on the content? Now we can see that the content here, which includes the name and the exercise, they are objects that belongs to an array, the array called parts. So to access this name, we have to target parts and target name, right? So what we need to do is we need to come here. We have props dot course. This becomes course, and then inside course we have parts. That means we want to target part key. That means we need to say course dot parts. Let's be sure it's parts and not parts with s. Okay, it's parts with s, so we say parts, right? Then we want to capture the first object in part, which is index of 0, which is what we have here. And then inside the object here, we want to target name. All right, so which is exactly what we have here. So let's copy this, let's paste it here, let's also paste it here. Then let's change the 0 here to 1. Now take note, we've not started with loops. We've not been asked to work on loops, else we won't be doing all of this. If we are to use loops, we won't have to write all this way, right? Because let's assume we are having thousands of values to work with. Do we have to be writing all of them this way? No. But this part one is more like it's an introductory part, right? So we are not expected to use loops here, right? Okay, so here let's come here and then let's change this also. Let's copy this and then change name to exercises. Let's copy these exercises now and then let's put it here. We have this, we change 0 to 1. Then we have this, we remove that and paste this, and then we change this index 0 to index 2. All right, so let's go back to the app component. Now we have content part equals parts. Is part equals to parts here? No, parts now should be equal to course because we are deriving everything we need from course. So from the course value, right? Or from the course object, which is what we have here. So here we are targeting this course, right? Okay, now let's save this code and see if we have our names and exercises displayed. Okay, something did not go well here. So what could that be? Let's go back and check properly. So we have props targeting course. So course here is our property. Okay, so here course is our property name, because looking at this part, props here, course is our property, right? So let's save this again and see. Okay, we can see that here we have fundamentals of React, then we have the names and the values displayed. So we are actually doing the right thing. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is let's work on total. Let's see how we can solve total. Now, how can we target the total? We need to add exercises, all the exercises together for us to get total. How do we do that? So we need to begin with props dot course dot parts. Inside parts, we are targeting the array, the first item in the in the array, which is this first object here. That's the fundamentals of React and 10, right? That's what we have here. So inside this property, inside this object, we are concerned with exercises, right? So that's what we have here. So here we also do the same thing. We change this one to course dot path, and then we also come here too, and then say course dot path. Then we come to the app component, and let's see how we can work on this. Okay, so now the property we have here is not called path, right? Let's check. It's called course, right? So we come here, we change path here to course. And also the value we have here should not be path, right? Because we are targeting this course value, right? So we come here and then we change this also to course. Let's see if that works. If it doesn't work, then we have to do a lot of debugging. All right, this did not work. So what went wrong? Let's go back again and come and check exactly what is going wrong here. Okay, so um course.path. Okay, so here we have paths, path with S, and we are writing path without S. So these are the little things we should be mindful of. I am supposed to actually open my developers tool here to check for errors, right? But maybe when we get to the next exercise, right? But for now, we've been able to solve this. Let me confirm that we've been able to solve this. Okay, so we can see that we have number of exercises here displayed. That means that we've been able to properly implement our code for exercise 1.5, which is step 5, right? So let's confirm we've been able to do everything correctly. So exercise 1.5 says, let's take the changes one step further. Change the course and its parts into a single JavaScript object. Fix everything that breaks. So we worked with this, and everything that broke have been fixed. All right, so this brings us to the end of today's code implementation exercise 1.5, and I'd just like to say keep coding and see you in the next video. Bye.